We have some good news today. Acala have just announced that they've resumed operations about 17 hours ago. As you can see, the community referendum for stage 3 out of 3 of resuming the Acala operations has been executed. All functionalities on Acala are now live. Vault owners, please ensure debt positions are safe as oracles start feeding market prices. And then they're thanking everyone for their patience and support. However, just one thing to keep in mind here is that the pegging hasn't happened yet. And I'm talking about the AUSD pegging to the US dollar, at least on KuCoin. If you check on KuCoin, it's still not pegged yet. So the question is, will that happen later? As I remember from their last mention, actually I can see it here. Let me just open this up because they should give us the information. So as you can see here, the final trace report was supposed to be the first phase. Okay, then the community could verify the info. Community can then formulate proposals to recollateralize the USD. Okay, so this is the one here. And then 4, community can formulate service resumption plans and make decisions whether to enable vault management, etc. Okay, so this should have been as part of step 3, in fact, not as part of step 4. So I wonder why we're not seeing the repegging yet. Okay, that's one thing that we still didn't get an answer to, and I'm sure the community is eagerly waiting. A lot of people have AUSD, especially on KuCoin, and they can't take it out, and they're stuck there, so they're waiting for the repegging. So we'll have to see if the team are going to tell us anything about that. I'm sure the community are going to pressure them. I am going to be asking in their Discord channel. I probably should have asked before just to find out what's going to happen with that, but I don't know if I'll get an answer. Okay, so that's the other thing you got to keep in mind, that the team can only tell you what they know so far. But as per those 4 phases, that's pretty much what should have happened as well, right? So we'll have to see. Now that the chain is live, I'm guessing that's what the community is going to be putting pressure on to get that pegging back. So we'll keep an eye out on that, and I'll update you as soon as we get more info. Let's talk about Moonbeam here. So Moonbeam have some amazing news. They are apparently the project with one of the highest percentages for total developer migrations over the last year. Over 200 projects were deployed, and teams continue building on Moonbeam and Moonriver, paving the way for cross-chain connected apps. And as you can see here, these are the tokens with the highest percentage of total developer migrations. We got Verge here, which is not one to look at, to be honest, because it's a bit of a joke. Moonbeam, this actually reminds me of the last bear market. Moonbeam, Ethereum, Solana, and Polkadot. So really interesting to see Moonbeam here at 9.5% above Ethereum, above Solana, and above Polkadot by a lot. So a lot of migrations there, and then they're basically telling us what it actually means. So for context, when a dev on one open source repository begins making commits to a different open source repository, that counts as a migration. This chart shows the top developer migrations over the last year. And so yeah, this is basically what it is. And as you can see, a lot of developers have migrated over to Moonbeam, and I think it's mostly because it's an EVM solution, right? That's probably the biggest reason as to why we've seen that migration. Next up, let's talk about Calamari. So we've got some news from Calamari. As you could see on the 29th of September, they have announced that after the runtime upgrade going live next week, which is this week, any user will be able to stake their KMA to contribute to the resiliency of the network. And so we can expect staking to go live anytime now this week. Okay, and once staking goes live this week, things are going to be interesting. We'll have to see how many people are going to stake. We don't know what the APY is going to be, but remember that as with Kusama staking or Polkadot staking, you can choose multiple collators. Okay, it's not like with Moonbeam or Moonriver where you just select one collator and you stake with that collator, and if that collator happens to go offline for whatever reason, you don't get any staking rewards. Okay, unless you unbound and you stake with another collator, or unless that collator manages to go to the active collator section. So yeah, this is different here. Okay, with Calamari, they do have collators, but the collators you can multi-stake, so to various collators, which is great. It gives you that peace of mind that you don't need to keep an eye out on that collator activity, right? So you don't need to worry if that collator is going to go offline or not, and that's great. And so yeah, kudos to the team for the progress. I'm looking forward to that. Now in their last Twitter space, they did say that they're looking at going live with the Manta network crowd loan as well. It's going to happen before the end of this year for sure. So keep your eyes out for that if you are interested in the Manta crowd loan, or if you contributed to their token sale and you're waiting for those Manta tokens, Manta coins, I should say. I keep saying tokens because I just see this everywhere. So if you're waiting for those Manta coins, you will be getting them before the end of this year. It's very, very likely because they will look at going live with the Manta crowd loan. They understand the community pressure. And one other thing, they are moving over to Discord. And so if you want to follow Calamari and Manta, don't go on Telegram anymore because I believe they've changed that to read only. And so yeah, just go to Discord because that's where they're going to be posting all the updates. And finally for today, good news, developers from Unique Network, their SDK is out. And this was actually tweeted yesterday. And you can now build dream dApps on Unique Network. Of course, if you are interested, if you are a developer, especially if you're not a developer, then just know that this is a big progress, a big stepping stone towards adoption for Unique Network. And we'll have to see how things are going to move on from here because Unique Network have a very strong marketing team. They have a strong team in general. They have a lot of funding. They've been promoting themselves everywhere. And aside from that, they've been attending different events. So they've really tried to spread the word. Like everywhere I went, I saw Unique Network. So they've definitely got a presence everywhere. One other thing that has happened recently was that the Unique coin got listed on Huobi. It's the only exchange that it's on. What surprises me though is that we're not seeing that on other exchanges, and it's probably because there weren't exchanges that supported the Unique crowd loan, which surprises me, to be honest, because I mean, Binance had supported a lot of the Polkadot crowd loans, but I'm not sure why they didn't support the Unique one. It could be the case that Binance has done the same as Kraken has done, for example, where they only supported the first 10 crowd loans on Polkadot, but then kind of left the rest aside. And so that could be a case here, and that could be the reason why they're not on other exchanges. Now, aside from that, they've also extended their lease for the Quartz parachain on Kusama. They've won the extension. And so they've self-funded for that, and that's another achievement for them if you are interested. But unfortunately, Quartz is not doing much right now. I mean, we're just not seeing too much movement, too much activity with Quartz. We'll have to see how things go. I'm kind of worried, to be honest, that they've abandoned it because we get that feeling with a lot of these canary networks. But let's hope that's not the case. Let's hope they will continue development on it, and it's not just going to be a case of using it for simply deploying future updates and then just that's it, you know. Let's hope that they will actually try and get people to develop on Quartz as well and not just use it as a pure testing ground. But we'll have to see, right? Expect chaos when it comes to the canaries at the end of the day. So far, Moon River has been the only one, and I should say Karura has been doing pretty good as well, but Moon River has been the most active one, has been doing the best. And now we've got BitCountry Pioneer doing the same. I'm really excited for BitCountry Pioneer because sometime this month we can expect the metaverses to go live. So we'll have to see how things go there and what kind of community interaction we're going to get there and engagement, especially because it's going to be the very first 3D metaverse platform on Kusama. So that's a huge stepping stone for the Kusama ecosystem. I mean, all eyes on BitCountry Pioneer. Then of course we've got Moonsama, Exosama, which started on Moon River. I think they're still on Moon River. I haven't played Moonsama because unfortunately I don't have a Moonsama, but I believe that they were using Moon River because if you minted a Moonsama, you needed Mover for that. But they are migrating to Moonbeam as well. And so Donnie kept on saying on Twitter as well that all eyes are on Moonbeam. More development is going to happen on Moonbeam. And so when a person of so much influence like Donnie, especially in the .sama ecosystem, tells you something like that, I mean, it's because he either knows something, he chatted to the team, or you know, he has some insider info perhaps, or you know, it's just what he's seeing happening, right? He's seeing development and he's checking or other developers who are working for him are telling him, look man, this is what's going on, right? There's less development on Moon River and there's more on Moonbeam, and the majority of those two dApps are migrating over to Moonbeam and are working more on Moonbeam and focusing all their efforts there. And so that's the reality of the situation. If a developer tells you that, then you have to take that for granted, right? I mean, they're looking at GitHub all day, so they likely know. That's what I wanted to share. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.